Hi everybody, welcome back to another CYT-Crypto episode. My name is Stephen Aitchison and today we're going to be going over the markets, looking at the markets, seeing what's happening with Bitcoin. It's shot up, well, kind of shot up compared to where it was. And we'll be looking at the overall markets as well and looking at a few kind of news stories as well. I'm just going to see if we're live or not, just to make sure everything is up and running. We are live. We're live. Yes, we are. Okay, and there's some people in the chat room just now, so we'll jump over to the chat room. I'm going to take these off actually. God, my eyesight's getting worse now since I got glasses. A pain in the arse. Okay, before we start, go down to the like button and hit that like button just now. And if you've not subscribed already, just hit the subscribe button and the notification bell as well, so you can get notified whenever I post videos. Okay, apologies for yesterday as well. I wasn't here yesterday. I was planning on being here yesterday, but I went through to my parents, went through early to avoid the traffic, which is why I couldn't do the kind of early live show yesterday morning. Normally I start at 8:30 AM GMT, so we left the house about 7:25 or something to go through to 5 where my parents stay. And my wife was working over that way as well, and I'd just done a wee bit of work while I was over at my parents as well, just sat in the kitchen, done some work, but I got to see my parents as well, which was nice, and back through at Fife as well. Fife likey. So we'll just see if we're in. We've got a few people in just now, so we'll just jump over. We have Andreas is in the house this morning. Good morning to you. Gary Parmenter is in the house. Green Day all around, definitely. Averhagen is in. Ross Davidson is in, saying how's it? South Africa, I think that's from South Africa. I've learned that last week, yeah. Marcus Chafarai, Alex Jug, Stephen King is in, Imran Chowdhury, James Oklahoma, one of the Brown admins. Never spoken to the admin team for a while, to be honest. I've not really been around the groups that much, apart from doing kind of calls in the morning. It's just, there are a lot of things happening in business just now. I'll tell you about that another time. Black Label 46 is in the house as well. Bitcoin Andy is in as well. Imran Chowdhury, hi Steve, hate to be the harbinger of bad news, but world depression begins. May God bless you and your families. World depression begins. The stock market is on pace for its worst December since the Great Depression. Yeah, stock market's not looking good. Obviously, we'll look at that as well. Lawrence, Genesis Group is in the house, and Chris Noble is in the house. Monkey Magic is in the house as well. Okay, so what's happening with the kind of crypto market? We'll look at the crypto market first of all, then we'll look at the kind of stock markets as well. So market capitalization up to $113 billion, and it was in danger of going over 100 or under 100 billion, but we're back up and we're up to $113 billion. Bitcoin dominance is down to 54.2%. So a lot of people going from Bitcoin into the alts again, and you can see some of the alts coming up. So you can see Bitcoin is up 7.78% with an average price of $3,543. We'll see who the winner is, or the winners are. EOS, which was tipped the other day. I showed you that on Friday, I think. They're tipped that on Friday, and it's up 25%. I think it's up about round about the same from where I kind of called it on Friday as well. So that's been good if you got into that. Ontology's up, Dogecoin, Digibyte, Qtum, Mobile Go, XRP is doing really well as well. We spoke about XRP, have been speaking about it for months. Hypercash, Dent, Coin Mix, and they're all in double-digit figures. So is there anybody lost? Ravane is down 3.4%. DAI and Cash is down as well. So there's not that many at all. We'll just look at everybody over traded who's traded over $10,000, and we'll see who's kind of jumped up. This is the whole market who's actually traded over $10,000. It's 15,000. We can't really do that. We'll just do it over $100,000 to get a true reflection. So Edgeless is up 51%. Arbitrage, we were speaking about that last week, or somebody was speaking about it last week, up 50%, up 300% over 7 days, and that's doing 225,000. Distributed C is, I don't know, distributed what? It says distributed C. Oh, distributed credit chain is up 46%. Hyperquant, I haven't heard of Hyperquant, up 39%. And Global Social, Hold, Canon Chain, DX, and Phantasma is up as well. They're all in double digits and 30% plus. So still lots of opportunities out there. We'll just see over the last 7 days. Anybody that's traded over 100,000. Veros still, Arbitrage up, Swarm, Twinkle, Consentium, Alibaba Coin. We spoke about that last week as well. So they're all up at the moment. We'll just take a look at Bitcoin just now. That's the FTSE 100. I was just checking the FTSE 100 where it was going to go today, and it's down. It started on a kind of downward slope. It's down 0.5% already to 6,637 just now. It looks as if it's going to go lower. So this is on the daily at the moment. So that'd have been a brilliant kind of spread bet if we went from 7,900 and got 1,200 points. That would have been fantastic if you'd kind of done a £10 spread bet on that, on it going down, a short on that. That'd have been amazing to get in on that. So yeah, it looks as if the markets are going to go down big time. It looks as if this is going to be the start of it. So Dow Jones 507, 507 points down, which is kind of crazy when you think about it. And it was actually lower than that. So it went down to 23,446. So it was at one point about 600-700 points down. So it doesn't look, I don't know if there's going to be a bounce back up from here, because it's hitting its kind of support level. It's going to be hitting its support level, 23,329 for the Dow Jones. Not that a lot of people are interested. Well, you have to be interested in this kind of, because it does affect a lot of things. So we're nearing that support level, so I need to see what happens when it opens later on today. S&P 500, obviously the same. That's kind of hitting a support level as well, as long-term support level. So if it goes below that, we're kind of snookered if you're in the S&P 500, if you're trading in that. But obviously this affects a lot of other things. It's not just the stock markets and people who are holding the stocks. And gold, where is gold just now? Obviously gold is going up and stock markets go down, people run out and get into gold. That's kind of what's happening just now. Gold near its all-time, well, it's not its all-time high, I was going to say it's high in the last 6 months. And you'll see a converse sign of that as well. When the stock markets are going up, gold is going down. When the stock markets are going down, gold is going up. That's usually kind of what happens. Usually. So stock markets are not looking good. So we'll see kind of what happens, as if the media is probably going to declare we're in a depression, we're in a it's going to be a lot of bad news in the media just now. So need to wait and see what happens with that when the stock market opens today, although the FTSE 100 is down already. Okay, we'll just look at some of the chat, see who else is in. Babman is in the house, George Charles is in, G-Slick is in, Terrell Hooker, Mac Pollen is in, Imran Chowdhury. Dent coin always seems to be the zombie coin in the top 100 nobody talks about. It's actually a serious project. I know it's to do with dentistry, but you never hear anyone talk about it. Mystery. Yeah, I never really speak about Dentacoin. I've not really looked at it, to be honest. I kind of know what it is, but I've never really spoken about it. Doesn't seem that exciting, but it's still, like you say, it's still in the top 100. Digibyte going well. Yes, it is going well just now. We'll have a look at some of them. Honest Crypto Journey is in. Good morning to you. Ajmal Salim, Peter J, Peter Harding, and Dentacoin always pumps. Yeah, there seems to be a cycle of pumping with Dentacoin. Ajmal, host Dave, can you share your thoughts on STOs? I'm not really... So STOs, this is securities. Instead of ICOs, you've got STOs going to be coming out. I think they're going to be the big thing of 2019, and I definitely need to do more research on how that is going to work, how it works with the SEC and everything else. But I think that is going to be the way it goes for 2019. I think they're going to be the big thing of 2019, but we'll need to see kind of what's happening. There's a few STOs out just now, but I need to do more research before I know what I'm talking about. I don't want to talk absolute crap about STOs, so I definitely need to do more research on that. Tut Tut is in the house, Rafi Bogosian is in the house as well, Juan Antonio, looks like some movement in crypto, looks good. Hope for a little run for Christmas. If not, hodl, hodl, hodl. Yes, indeed. So, Bitcoin. We'll just look at Bitcoin just now. Binance. And we'll look at it. 3,450. So it's come down a wee bit. And this is on a 4-hour chart. So it's come down a wee bit. So it touched the resistance. So what was previous support is now resistance, which is 3,600. So you can see that quite clearly. Nearly touched it and then kind of came back down again. So we'll need to wait and see if this climbs back up and pushes through the 3,600 level. If it doesn't, we're probably going to go way back. We're going to go down again. I'm not saying way back down, but it looks as if we're going to go down to maybe 3,300. And if we break that, obviously it's further down from there. But we need to break that 3,600 to be extremely happy about what's happening with Bitcoin just now. Is it a fake out? Don't know. We just don't know. The volume's there, obviously, with Bitcoin. But we need to see if this is a fake out or not. But we need to wait and see kind of what happens if it can break through that 3,600 or not. So that would be good if it did. A nice little run up for Christmas and towards the end of the year. That would be quite good. But just be careful. Don't get too overexcited about this. This could be a fake out. And I'm not kind of being a harbinger of doom or anything, but it's just be careful. Obviously, I'm probably the most optimistic person you could probably ever meet, but it's just about being careful as well. Still trading opportunities out there, and without a doubt, you can see on Binance trading opportunities. Same with Bittrex as well. We'll just look. I would imagine DigiByte is up there. So this is on Bittrex, Edgeless. You've got Swarm as well, and you've got Gambit up kind of 16%. And Dynamic. Stealth is up as well. So I think for 2019 in the premium group, we're going to have to look at Bittrex as well. So I think we're going to have to, because there's some good opportunities on Bittrex as well. Yeah, DigiByte is up. You can see it from there from 237. Kind of crossed over at 261 on a 4-hour, and from the crossover to now it's went up about 16%. Probably looks as if it's going to go higher. Look on the daily chart and just kind of zoom out and get a bigger picture, and you can see the potential of it as well. 299, so 10x potential to its all-time high. Doesn't mean to say it's going to get up there, but 10x to get to its all-time high, or 9x to be more specific. Yeah, so it does look good, but obviously you've got its low as well of 71 Satoshi. This is for DigiByte we're talking about here. So there's still loads of trading opportunities out there and ways to make good money. We'll just go on to Binance. See what's doing well at the moment. Vibe has taken another jump up. That seems to go through a cycle as well of taking a run up. So is this a start of another run up for Vibe? Probably crossed over in the 4-hour. Yeah, it crossed over in the 4-hour kind of a while ago, yesterday at 667. So in the crossover, kind of went up 10% already. So Vibe is doing good. Lend has started to move as well. WPR, GTO just kind of starting to move. Kind of called that a few days ago as well. IDO or IDO. NXS is up, not by much, but it's up. EOS is a kind of big one, so that's kind of up on the crossover. I can't even remember where they're called at, to be honest, but we're called that on the kind of crossover round about there, and it's up about 25% on the crossover. Lunya is up as well, just kind of going up. So there's not as big jumps on Binance as there is on Bittrex at the moment anyway, but you can still trade a lot on Binance and make some good money there as well. David Schwartz, hello Steve, could you share your thoughts on Ethereum? Ethereum, there's a news story out that this month has been the worst month for Ethereum sell-offs from the ICOs. So Ethereum is going to have to... It's a difficult one. Obviously, everybody, the reason Ethereum went up is because everybody was using it for the ICOs, but now all the ICOs are starting to sell out. I'm just going to find the news story just now. ICOs have sold another 400,000 Ethereum in the past 30 days. What went wrong? So ICOs, and this is from trustnodes.com, ICOs have sold 416,000 ETH in the past 30 days, the highest amount within a monthly period since summer. In August, they sold just 100,000 ETH according to data by Sentiment, rising to 300,000 in September. Then in November, they sold 100,000 within a week, and now more than 400,000 in the last month. Far less than some periods during January to March, when ICOs sold 630,000 within just one day on the 27th of March 2018. So it's not a case of reinventing themselves for Ethereum. I still believe Ethereum definitely got a place in crypto. It's just I'm kind of concerned would be the thing that I'd say with Ethereum just now, but I still think it's going to go up. I still think it's definitely got a use case kind of scenario there. There's definitely working on it in the background as well, and still doing kind of updates as well, Casper, etc., proof of stake. So I still believe it definitely has a place, and I definitely believe it's going to run up. We're going to get a big run up. Everybody's talking it down just now and saying, oh, Ethereum's finished, it's kind of down the tubes and stuff like that. I don't think so. I really don't think so. I think it's going to rise from the ashes and come back up again and be the strong number 2. But we'll just need to wait and see on that as well. So it's kind of way down. Well, it's not way down, but it's 9 billion just now. XRP is kind of well overtaking it. Just now, it did a while ago as a number 2, but I think it's going to come back up and go to number 2 position. XRP are still doing well, 13 billion just now, as opposed to 60 billion for Bitcoin. Obviously, that kind of market cap has gone up over the last couple of days for 60 billion, but still 5 times or 4.5 times the XRP market cap, and it could overtake Bitcoin. Might not happen if Bitcoin goes up, but yeah, back to Ethereum. I still think Ethereum is going to come back strong, stronger than ever in 2019. $93 at the moment. So yeah, that's kind of my thoughts on that. Nothing hugely in depth or anything. Crypto Jed, hi all, let's have a great and blessed day. Yes, to you as well. Mohammed Abdullah is in, so what about GNT coin? Is it oversold in day chart? Haven't looked at GNT. Bitcoin Andy, I'm happy I bagged more XRP last night, around 28 cents. Brilliant. Brilliant, should be up about 10% just on that. Cole Phillips is in, good to see you, Cole. And do you see any coins decoupling from BTC and being less influenced by BTC's movements? Coins like BABB or ETN, due to heavy mass market penetration objectives, are more fiat heavy than crypto heavy. I don't see that just now. I honestly don't see that at the moment. We're still very much tied to BTC. Very much tied to BTC, and I don't know how that is going to happen. I don't know how we're going to get decoupling. I know you're talking about the USDT or the USD value compared to the price as well, but we're going to be very much tied to BTC, and I just don't see it happening anytime soon, like a major decoupling of it. Fiat heavy as in the unbanked world. Yeah, I know exactly what you mean, but I really don't see it happening just now. We're going to go up and down with the price of kind of Bitcoin. I don't see a decoupling kind of happening. TRX is the ETH killer, and TRX is on a run just now. It's on a roll. It's up to 404 Satoshi at the moment, I think, unless it's kind of jumped up again. TRX BTC, we're on 404, 403, yeah. So it's had a good run up from around the 300 level, about 25% run up, but nice and steady run up. And you can see this is a 50 EMA. And it's kind of bouncing off that and going up each time. So it's been doing that since the end of November, which is good. TRX has definitely got a long-term future, despite what you think about Justin Sun. We've been saying this for a while as well. TRX is a really good project, and they've got the fingers in that many pies that it can't not fail whatever they're doing. So I think TRX is going to do amazing. Juan Antonio, Steve, what news do you think BABB is going to announce this week? Well, they should be announcing it, I don't know, maybe today or tomorrow or Thursday or Friday. I honestly don't know. It could be about another exchange listing, but would that be big news? Unless it was Binance, of course. I don't know. That could be really big news. If it was on Binance, that'd be huge news actually. But other than it being on Binance or going on to another exchange, the Lithuanian license, they kind of hinted at it last week. So I was originally thinking with BABB, I thought, okay, they're going to get the Lithuanian license before the end of the year. And that was my thinking all along. But then they came out and said they're not going to do that until Q1 2019. But then in the video last week, I don't know if you've seen the video last week that I kind of showed you, and they were kind of hinting at there being Lithuanian kind of news. And the only Lithuanian kind of news there would be is actually getting the Lithuanian license. So I don't know, to be honest. And I've done an update on BABB as well. I don't know if you've seen that. I did the update on BABB as well, looking at the license obviously, and looking at something else that nobody's really talking about is about the investors. You've still got you can still invest in equity to get equity for BABB as well. They're looking at £2 million for that. They've nearly reached it. They're about 83% of the way there, and this is for larger investors kind of wanting to get in, but you can still get in as well. Put the link up for you there as well. And yeah, that was kind of done a quick update on BABB. I always say quick update, but it always lasts about 20 minutes or something. I can never seem to get updates and kind of reviews under 20 minutes because I like to go kind of deeper dive than normal. But yeah, well, I think I got it down to 15 minutes. I cut out part of it and got it down to 15 minutes. So yeah, still speculating on what the news could be. Lithuanian license, I'm kind of back on that bit. I said that all along that they're going to get that before the end of the year, but I don't know. Once they changed it, say it's going to come in Q1, they changed it, but then the video last week might lead me to think there could be a Lithuanian license. Other than that, it could be an exchange, or I don't know why they would do this, but burning of tokens, I don't know. I honestly don't know. Ajmal, I agree with Crypto Dread. Tron is an Ethereum killer. Debbie Claydon is in. Good to see Debbie. Imran Chowdhury, straight up question: what has TRX made? Oh, what they made? Oh, you need to look into that itself. What has anybody made? If you look at all the projects, what has anybody made? If you look at it from that point of view, Imran. Bitcoin and Tron will be massive, but no Ethereum killer. I don't think it's going to be an Ethereum killer. I think they can work along side by side. Christopher A, good morning all. For those who think crushing the likes feels like a bit aggressive, remember that you can also gently press the like. Gently press those likes. Yes. Just go down to the like button just now and hit those likes. Crush the likes. Ajmal did say the BABB update was good. Yeah. Imran Chowdhury, Bitcoin Andy, can you substantiate what will make TRX massive? What products has it released in real life use case that's solving a hair on fire problem? Not hating, just asking. But again, Imran, like I said, you could ask that about any project. You've got to ask that about every single project. What they made, what's the use case scenario, and that's the kind of questions we have to kind of ask as well. Juan Antonio, yes, I saw the both videos. You always do a great job to maintain us up to date. Thanks. Brilliant. Good. Matthew Parks is in. Any concerns over NEO? NEO has just been forgotten about just now, and I think this is a good time to look at NEO. Heard it called a dead project the other day, has dropped hugely compared to TRX market cap. It's definitely not a dead project. It's just it's forgotten about. People are not talking about it anymore, and this is a time you kind of start looking at the likes of NEO. Where is it in the? It's number 18. Number 18 just now. But definitely not dead as our NEO. Big on NEO as well, and that's going to come back big time in the future as well. Yeah, so because nobody's talking about it, I think that's why people are going to say, oh, it's dead, it's out, it's off the market, it's off, it's not relevant anymore. It totally is, and it's going to come back big time. I believe it's going to come back big time. Any news on BABB? Nothing just now. Honest Crypto Journey, we were just talking about that just now. We'll just have a look at some of the smaller caps. Can we look at them? Where are we? Have I got coin signals up? I don't think I've got coin signals up, so just go. So coin signals, we can look at the smaller caps. Digitex futures is up about 10-11%, well nearly 12%. You can see there the crossover 995. We spoke about it last week, so that is up just now. Is that the right time? 4 hours. We'll go to 8 o'clock. Yes, at the right time. So we'll look at BABB just now, still within that trading range at the moment. On the top end of the trading range, it kind of reached, I think it broke out and got to 12 as well actually, and did, very briefly. So we'll look at BABB at the moment. Where are they just now? I think this is up to date. Yeah, the bots are in there, selling off 1 at 10 Satoshi, but the bots are in BABB just now on KuCoin. But to buy at 10 Satoshi, we've got 39 million to buy, which is 3.96, or say 4 Bitcoin worth. And to sell at 11 Satoshi, we've got 22 million, which is 2.5 Bitcoin, basically. So, yeah, see what happens when they bring the news out, either today, tomorrow, or this week sometime. I'm expecting it today or tomorrow. So we'll see what happens with that. And I would imagine there'll be an update on a video. So we'll see what happens with that. It's going to be interesting either way. Okay, we'll go back. Where are we? That was BABB. Metum, they've kind of gone up as well. And they had gone up. Yeah, they've gone up. So they did go up from around 100 Satoshi, 112 Satoshi, all the way up to 173, which is a big jump. Actually, when you kind of look at it, it's 55%, and even from 112 to where they are just now, it's 34%. So big jumps for Metamorph. Still liking Metamorph. I've been speaking about them for a few months now as well. And I'm totally biased, so do your own research. It's not kind of financial advice. I'm totally biased because I'm into it just now. We've got 364,000. Not million, 364,000. So even if it 10x's and goes to 3.6 million, then it's still an amazing project. Even if it 10x's, it's still nowhere near reached its potential, I believe, in my opinion. What else we're going to look at? How do you do? 429 at the moment, did climb up to around the 530 level. You can see that's not fallen that far from where it kind of came on. The highest has been as 874. There's going to be no problem reaching that again and way surpassing its all-time high since it came on. So they're just kind of getting going just now, how do, and they'll be much bigger in 2019. XTRD, I've seen. We've not looked at them in a while. Oh, they've come back down again. So we went from 6 Satoshi up to 22 Satoshi and back down again. So I don't know what's happening with them just now, but you can see the slow, steady decline in XTRD. Still holding them. That's a case of hodl and see what happens with them with XTRD at the moment. I don't know, have they gone back up to 21? So they're going down 200%, up 200%, just a strange one. Obviously not a lot of volume at all on XTRD, but still working in the background, I believe as well. What time are we on? Near the time. James Oklahoma, what are your thoughts on a BABB team member doing 2 transactions for a total of 250 million tokens to IDEX? It was explained as an accident with 2 transactions, although no coins were sold, so that's a plus. Yeah, I've seen the kind of hoo-ha about that as well. If it's a genuine mistake, I don't know. Not a lot to say on it, to be honest, James. I don't really know too much about it. We need to know the full facts on it. Is the full facts? Have we been given the full facts about that? 250 million tokens to IDEX. But I honestly don't know. Because I don't know the full facts, so I can't really kind of comment on it, to be honest. But I've seen the kind of hoo-ha about that as well. Mike D is in, one of the Brown admins. Good morning, Stephen, everyone. Hope you're all well. It's good to see you, buddy. Hope you're doing well as well. Crypto Dread, TRX has its own DEX exchange with multiple coins on it. Some of these coins are getting on other exchanges. So this is explaining what TRX does. How could this affect confidence? I think confidence is only short term. Especially in the crypto market, confidence is a kind of short-term thing. As we've seen many times, you can be super highly confident one day and then you just lose all confidence the next again day. So I don't think it's going to affect it that much, to be honest, James. Black Label 46, is there any more news on PundyX? Because the price is so cheap now to pick up more, very tempting to grab more. I think nobody's really talking about PundyX again as well. It's around about the 15, 16 Satoshi level. So I still think it's making money just now. We've got to remember that it's a project that's actually making money. It's got a project, it's got a kind of product out there as well, 2 products now. It's got products out there actually making money, and they're kind of going out and hopefully changing the cryptocurrency market as well by bringing people into it. But obviously it's going to be a long process, but nobody's talking about it. Is it a good time to buy? Yeah, in my opinion. Do your own kind of research and all that. Steve, you mind if we take a look at XRP? So XRP has jumped as well, as we said. BTC. So it's at 9,444. It did get up to 9,680. Been saying all along this is going to jump up to 20,000 Satoshi at some point. It's starting. We kind of seen that from 4,000 from here, and it's just starting kind of on its journey, I think, XRP. And I think people are going to start looking at XRP in a different way. I don't know how to kind of say that. I think they're still going to see it as a cryptocurrency. Obviously, Ripple, the company, are trying to decouple itself from XRP as well, but it's always going to be tied to it, obviously, Ripple Labs company. But I think people are going to start to see Ripple differently, and they're going to start to buy it differently as well. I don't think they're going to start to look at the kind of Bitcoin value and kind of cryptocurrency. I think they're just going to look at it as a separate entity almost. It's still going to be part of the crypto market, obviously, but I just think people are going to be looking at it differently, and I think that's starting to happen just now. I kind of certainly look at XRP differently. I still see it as a cryptocurrency, obviously, and it's kind of hard to explain. It's a weird kind of thing to explain it. Definitely as a cryptocurrency, and not in the true sense, but it is a cryptocurrency, and I look in a different way from all the other kind of cryptos. I almost see it as a separate entity, but still being part of the crypto sphere as well. So that's why I think it's just going to, it could possibly overtake Bitcoin as a #1 spot briefly soon. And we can start to see signs of that already. We're starting to see from September onwards, people are getting they can see the potential of XRP and what's happening with it. So yeah, is it going to go up from here? I think it is. Technically, there's no reason not to either. If we're looking at technical analysis, there's no reason why it's not going to rise as well. So I think future definitely looks brilliant for Ripple. Another one I think I'm big on, but not I think I'm big on, but I am big on, is Cardano. I started to rise a wee bit just now, not that much, 919. I think it's not forgotten about, but not a lot of people are talking about it. But I think that's one that's going to explode as well. I really think that's going to explode at some point. Same with kind of Ripple done. It's just going to go up like 200-300%, come back down again. It's going to retrace, and then you're going to get a new level for Cardano. So the levels just now are sitting around about the 1,000 Satoshi level. But then once it goes up 300-400%, we'll come back down, and the new level will be something like 2,000 or something up here at this level. That'll be the new level, and then it'll do the same again, come back down. New level will be 3,000, and then it's just going to keep on going up like that. I think it's going to go up in steps, but we're going to get bursts as well. Then we're going to get stabilization, then up again in a burst, stabilization down. I think that's what's going to happen with Cardano. Gino Dallas in the house, good morning to you. Done well today, trade EOS. Yeah, EOS has done well. I just called it the other day as well. Just kind of looked as if it was going to do really well, and it has. What do you do to keep yourself cheerful? Your positivity has held out a lot over the jittery hearts. You decouple your emotions from crypto markets. So we're talking about decoupling there, kind of Imran. So that's the only thing you can do. If you look at the markets indifferently and just see it as as markets, and you don't get emotionally attached to it. And honestly, I still get, there's times when I'm emotionally attached to it, but you have to decouple your emotions from the markets and just look at it as something. I think if you go into the markets thinking, okay, if I lose this all, I'm not going to lose the house, I'm not going to lose my wife, I'm not going to lose the kids, I'm not going to lose a kidney. If you look at it from that point of view, what's the very worst that could happen? The very worst that could happen is crypto goes to shit and you've lost all the money you put in. With me, I've taken out double what I put in, and I'm still in the markets just now. So I put in $20,000 in June 2017, and I've probably taken out about $40,000, and I've still got about, at the moment, probably $20,000 worth. So if I was to lose it all, I've not lost, I've gained already from it. So that's, I just look at the markets indifferently, but I can understand if people got in December and January, and they got in and they're going to lose a shit ton of money. I can understand how that must feel. But I think you have to be indifferent and just think the worst that can happen is you're going to lose everything, and crypto's going to go to zero and nobody's going to be talking about it anymore. If that's the worst that can happen, you've not lost a house, you've not lost your kids, your wife, your husband, the car or anything, then I think it's okay. If that's the worst that can happen. But conversely, you have to ask yourself, okay, what's the best thing that could happen? Because nobody answers that question, or nobody asks that question of themselves. They'll say, okay, what's the worst that could happen? Could go down to zero. This is new people getting in. Oh, could go down to zero and you've lost all your money. And they go, oh, well, I'm not going to get into it. But then you ask, okay, what's the best that could happen? It's probably going to be the best case scenario that is going to happen. Bitcoin could go up to $100,000. All the other cryptos are going to go up 5x, 10x, 15x, 20x, which you're never going to get from a bank. So I think about the best case scenario, and the worst case scenario is not that bad actually. So that's how I managed to remain positive. I hope that answers your question. It concerns me that Ripple is trying to distance itself from its own XRP. Why? They've never really come out and said that. As to the real, not the real reason why Ripple, the company, I just think it is two separate entities, because Ripple Labs are actually doing other things as well, and it's not tied to XRP, the actual token. But it's always going to be linked. Somehow it's always going to be linked. So I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing. DevT94, I think Ripple doesn't want people to think they are in control of XRP price and that type of jazz. Yeah. Bitcoin Andy, thanks Steve, appreciate it mate. My pleasure, my pleasure. Dent team is busy preparing the launch of the world's first blockchain-based mobile data exchange. Yeah, so in the premium group yesterday or the day before, I kind of called, I'm just telling you anyway, I've called out Dent as one of the calls, because I make about 40 or 50 calls a month, or 30, at least 30 calls a month or something. So I don't mind sharing that. So if we go into Coin Market Calendar, and this is a really good resource as well. You have to kind of look at this if you're doing kind of research. So this is a calendar of everything that's going to be happening. So if we go to coins and we go to Dent, and you look at what's upcoming for Dent. So Dent has got the exchange coming out. So we'll be opened up to allow trading of data packages of operators and select cryptocurrencies against Dent. Could be a brilliant thing, could be huge. They've got the Afterburner program as well. So this is a loyalty program that Dent have got. It's made for mobile users, which will gain benefits if you hold a Dent balance on your mobile wallet. Obviously, you've got in March the World Telco. You've got video calls launch as well in June. I think Dent probably sometime in 2019, not sometime, early 2019, quarter one, if not by the end of the year, it's probably going to double in price. My opinion as well. Just do your own research on that as well. But I think they're doing good things and making another project that's actually making money just now. They've got a lot of partnerships with mobile companies as well. So I think this could be really good for Dent. Is going to get a lot more attention as well once they bring out their exchange, the Afterburner program as well, and that's why I kind of called Dent the other day as well. So yeah, they're doing really well. Ross Davison, tomorrow is my 1 year anniversary in crypto. So you got in at the height, down 90%. Oh man. But you're still in the game, you still got 10% in the game, so Obviously, you'd have to go up about 1,100% to get to where you were. Imran Chowdhury, cheers, Steve. Good advice. Thanks, Imran. Gino Dow, Steve, did you look up the American Express using XRP in Q1? I didn't look at that, Gino. Dirty Fergie. Who do you think has a top mobile wallet? Oh, I don't know. I've not even looked at kind of mobile wallets. To be honest, I'm not big into the kind of mobile wallets. Imran Chowdhury, Dent could be the project as a real use case. Yeah. Christopher A, funny coincidence. I have about exactly the same amount of crypto. From a risk to ratio perspective, I agree with you that crypto investing is a no-brainer. I think so. I definitely think so. Crypto investing, especially now, especially these prices just now. One is crypto. John Rusty, well, 1 year anniversary in crypto coming up also, and also down in dollar value about 90%. It's not for the faint of heart for sure, but still in the game. Only lost when you sell. Yeah, that's the thing, because when a lot of people are saying, "Oh, I've lost $100,000," but unless you've sold, have you lost 100,000? It's like people who buy a house, when the kind of housing market crashes, say, "Oh, I bought my house for £200,000, but it's only valued at £120,000. I've lost £80,000." You've not lost anything because you've not sold the house. It's the same with crypto as well. You've not lost anything. You might have lost potential equity in it on paper, potential, but most people in their houses, they don't use the equity as well. So you've not lost anything. So I see the crypto market like that as well. You've not lost anything until you've actually sold. I know that's an old kind of cliche, but it's true. It's true if you think about it that way. I'm down 97%. Yeesh. And Gina Dow, how many XRP you need to make me a millionaire? A lot. Well, it depends how much it goes up to. So you could have one and it goes up to $1 million. You only need one XRP. I don't think that's obviously going to happen. But Imran Chowdhury, is anyone still investing in ICOs? Have you invested in an ICO this season, 2018? The last ICO I invested in, I think, was Howdo. That was the very last ICO I invested in. And I won't be doing an ICO, possibly STOs. I might be looking at STOs to invest in for 2019, but I'm obviously going to have to look at that in depth. I don't like to do anything unless I kind of know what I'm talking about or kind of know what I'm doing. And then I go all in. So I need to see STOs as well, but never done ICOs for ages. XRP is going to reach $32 according to one of the Ripple members who is an expert in economics, Bitcoin Andy. It could well do. If we get $10 trillion in the market, you could easily see that. Easily. But that means it's going to be obviously 100x from here. So you still need to have a lot to be a millionaire. But okay, I'm going to leave it there for the moment. Hit those likes if you've not kind of hit the like already. You've liked this chat this morning. I've not even looked at the news. Shit, sorry. Forgot to look at the news. What was the news? I'll just give you the headlines. Crypto to crypto trading now live on Coinbase. A lot of people are saying what-to-dos. A lot of kind of exchanges have got that. But it just shows you Coinbase are kind of doing a lot of things. EOS jumps to 4th with 30% surge as crypto markets bounce. That's from newsbtc.com. Even big names are looking for cryptocurrency. I like this cartoon about Santa kind of wanting Bitcoin, and kids want Bitcoin when they're going to Santa. What was the other news? Trump's new chief of staff praised Bitcoin and blasted the Federal Reserve. So this was Chief of Staff Mick Mulvaney. He's big on Bitcoin, and he kind of, a couple of years ago, he kind of blasted the Federal Reserve for buggering up the dollar or something like that. ICOs, we kind of looked at that as well. Coinbase now allows all US users to withdraw funds to PayPal as well. So this is a 12 Days of Christmas program they've got for Coinbase as well, which is a really good thing. So they bring out something kind of every day. So that is a good thing as well. Can I share a few STIs on this chat? STIs? STOs, yeah, you can. Honest Crypto Johnny, thanks Steve, pleasure as always. You as well, Honest Crypto Johnny, good to see you here. Cheers Steve, great as always, thank you. Rafi Bogosian, namaste. Okay, so I will leave it there just now. See you same time, same place tomorrow. I'll be on until Friday, and then I might have a week off for, I don't know, because I love crypto that much. I'll probably just come on. I'll probably not have the full week off, but I'll be on until Friday anyway, so I'll see you up till then. So see you tomorrow, same time, same place. Until then, namaste, take care, bye now.
Here's to the crazy ones, the misfits, the rebels, the troublemakers, the round pegs in the square holes, the ones who see things differently. They're not fond of rules, and they have no respect for the status quo. You can quote them, disagree with them, glorify or vilify them. About the only thing you can't do is ignore them, because they change things. They push the human race forward. While some may see them as the crazy ones, we see genius. Because the people who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who do. Here's to the crazy ones, the misfits, the rebels, the troublemakers, the round pegs in the square holes, the ones who see things differently. They're not fond of rules, and they have no respect for the status quo. You can quote them, disagree with them, glorify or vilify them. About the only thing you can't do is ignore them, because they change things. They push the human race forward. While some may see them as the crazy ones, we see genius.